Hello, everybody. The Owl on the Brush here. Hope everyone's doing well today, and welcome to the Brush. So, for anybody new here, this is an art and game development channel. I do 3D modeling on Tuesdays, PDT, and I also do casual gameplays on Sundays as well. Hey, Bronson, how are you? And Connor, hope you're doing well. So this is my first time streaming on another platform. So today we're streaming with Rumble, but I don't know if my computer can handle the streaming. So if it starts to cut off, I might have to go back to the other platform. But anyway, so today we're going to be doing 3D modeling. And this is for my indie game Duel Trigger. So let me give you a little bit of a, where is it here? Here's a preview of my game. So what I'm going to be doing is 3D modeling, and then I flatten the 3D models into 2D sprites. And I was on a little bit of a hiatus for the past month, but I'm trying to get back into this now. So in this game, this is basically a steampunk 2D run and gun platformer where you play as the most skilled and most wanted steampunk cowboy in all of the West Coast. And I think I'll try to get I'll try to make this a little bit easier on my computer by having a smaller file open. Because the other ones I was doing before, I was making a lot of backgrounds. It kind of, the way I do it is I have everything all for one level on the same file. And so that kind of makes the computer work extra hard. But I think if I just have this, we should be fine. So far it looks like Rumble's okay. And the other platforms seem all right as well. Let me pull up the chat box. Here we go. And then I'll put the artwork on. Oh, I have the logo. Where is that? Here we go, and then my artwork. Then let's start up some music. Let me know if the volume's okay. It's actually a little bit loud on my side. Let me turn that down. So it says you're live, but it has a green circle instead of red. Yeah, I don't know. This is my first time using the platform, so not sure exactly what all the symbols are for. Volume is good now that you have adjusted it. Okay, thanks. So, what are we doing today? So today, I decided to open up this little file here to show you kind of what I'm going to be designing the characters for. So if we change this over to have textures, here we have an enemy that I designed, and it's animated. So basically, if you push this slider over this way, you can see he moves. So what I did was, these characters are meant to be able to aim, even though they're 2D sprites, so that they can aim up and down. The red portion that I have was a little guide for me to use to make sure I get all the degrees exactly right. And then I will render that as a 2D sprite, all pixelated. Then I'll save that and then use that in Unreal Engine. So the point of doing this is that since it's 3D, I can reuse certain character models so that I don't have to spend too much time like making a whole bunch of pixelated ones just from scratch. This character is an enemy, and let me see if I have... Oh. Alt H. Oh, so I had attached this rig to the main character so that I can animate him, but it looks like I detached him earlier. These are some weapons, weapon drafts that I have, and I'll basically like hide them when I don't need them for certain animations. Today we're not going to be working on animation, we're going to be working on the 3D modeling portion, like modeling the polygons. Oh, let me change the music. I think it's starting to be repetitive. Oh, I don't know if I like that one. Okay. Let's see, here we go. I also need to find a way to combine my chats because right now the chats are like all over the place. I have to look right and left and all that. So the modeling is what it looks like. The animation is how it moves. Yeah, so the modeling would be for like the physical, like, well, none of this is physical, I guess, right? The polygons, right? So if I were to tab into this, you can see the model is the mesh here that I adjust. So I can move these different points around and then adjust that. And then once I'm done with that, then I will attach it. I'll attach it to the rig. And you can see the rig is this portion. Oh, let's delete this. Alt H. So this is the rig that you attach to the mesh, and then that's how you animate the character. So if I were to go into pose mode, I can manipulate the arms like this, and the legs and all that. And so what Blender has is it has another setup that you can use to make animation a lot easier, and that's called Rigify. So it will attach this rig onto, or basically it'll attach it so that your control points are this figure right here. So if I were to go into pose mode, you can pose it using this multicolored setup. I use an app called Social Stream Ninja. Fuzzy Pickle showed it to me. Oh, use that like Restream? So I'm gonna open up a different file. Open. It's just an app I downloaded on the computer. Oh, okay. Wait, so what is this app for? Is it like a social networking thing? Social Stream Ninja. So here I have a bunch of different characters that I made, and let me tab into this section here. So they're like halfway done. Like I was working on this probably like a year ago, but I have a selection of characters that are for different levels. So these are the minors, and you're not going to see them very close up, so they don't need to be very detailed. Oh, I see. Okay. So it's an app. It just connects all your chats. I've used it for YouTube, X, Rumble, and Twitch. Okay, so I'll have to check that out. Thanks for the recommendation. Oh, let me put up my my working sign. Owl at work. Okay, so then I have these other characters. These are more people in like suits and top hats. I think that I will do the characters for the ranch level. The ranch is not like a real ranch. It's that's the name of it. Kind of like a symbolic ranch. You'll understand later when the story gets fleshed out a little bit more. But let me duplicate these. I'm gonna duplicate. Then I have to make reference photos. Let me switch up the music again. I wish I had like longer tracks. Or maybe we can find something a little bit more calming. Let me go to... Oh. Anyway, Bronson and Connor, how's your day been? Hope you've been having a good day. Let me load up some reference images. It's been good, man. Just now finishing up dinner. How's your day been? I've been pretty busy. I was like printing out a bunch of stuff last night, and then now I'm cutting it out for my art sale. Um, my next art sale is gonna be in a month, but it kind of it's like sneaks up on you, so you have to prepare like way in advance. I've noticed that otherwise, like I'll be thinking, oh, it's really far off, and then pretty soon it's like around the corner. So I've been making bookmarks, and then I also printed out something for keychains. So I have shrinky dinks, printable shrinky dinks, and then I also have some tags, Owl in the Brush tags. Oh, I'm also working on a stamp because my white t-shirts need to have an Owl in the Brush logo on the back. So I am gonna carve that onto a rubber stamp. Then I have some art prints I printed out, and then I'm like cutting them to size. It's pretty good. A long day, Acid Rain says. How about you? Oh, well, I'm answering both of your questions. You're so crafty. I assume that you will produce the OST for this game. Well, see, that's gonna be. I'm gonna have the sound design outsourced, so that's gonna be the main thing that's not by me. I'm more like into the visual aspect, and although I'm pretty sure I could learn, it just would take so much time. Anyway, yeah. So I'm only using 75% memory, which is lower than it has been. That's good. Okay, so I will tab to this section, and then here we see images of cowboys and also wagons. So I'm gonna try to copy some of the design on some of these characters, and the character is not gonna be that like not that visible, so I have to like pick and choose what I'm gonna do. It probably would be better if I do a sketch beforehand, but say for instance here I could use something like this. He has like these cuffs on, and then his pants are like that. For the wagon, right here, I'm gonna have one character that's going to give you an arsenal. Oh, he can sell you weapons, and so he's gonna have an arsenal in his wagon. That's gonna be for a different model. So I could even maybe have them with coats like that, huh? And then some of them have like there's one guy that has a really tall hat somewhere. Oh, this one here. I wonder what this is called. That's cool. So apparently in the Wild West, like we kind of have for like cosplay cowboys, we kind of have a image like they have jeans on or something that are snug. But apparently a long time ago, cowboys would wear pants that are kind of like this shape. So they're all baggy and they don't have a taper to them. Okay, so let me decide which one I want. I want to try to have this hat here. And then I like the cuffs. I think maybe I already made one earlier, but let's try a coat. That would be kind of cool. You have cuffs in the well, actually, but then your cuffs would be underneath the coat, right? Let me switch this to the other side. My chat box is in the way. If I do a coat, I guess I'll have to do like probably a physics simulation also. That's kind of like not really my area of expertise. Let's change this hat up. Hey, Digging for Grubs, how are you? So is the whole game a Western? It is a Western. It's a steampunk cowboy game. So Wild West steampunk game. So that's the theme. Oh, why'd this get all pointed in the back? I was actually thinking before that I might make it another type of game. I had like, in my mind I had the choice between either like a Soviet Union era game or a Wild West game, and then I picked the Wild West one. There are going to be 5 levels in it, and it's going to be mining town, Chinatown, the frontier level, and then that's 3, right? Then I have the ranch. What was the 5th one? The 5th one, Chinatown, mining town, frontier, ranch, and then, let me see. Open. Yes. Oh yeah, the train level. Yeah, you're gonna be on a train also. So here I have some early mock-ups of the train. Digging for Grubs says, I love Westerns. How long have you worked on it? So I've kind of had I've had a kind of a hiatus for a bit, and recently when I've been streaming, I've been doing like 2 hours per week, which is not a whole lot compared to like how much I have to do still. But I started on the game like over a year ago, maybe a year and a half ago. But I've also been getting into my art sales recently, so that's really taken up a lot of time. So everything, I'm doing multiple things, and so everything's kind of compiling on top of each other. So it is taking me a while to get certain projects done. That's the train level, and then I have the Chinatown level. These are bits and pieces. So right now I'm working on the enemies, which I haven't done in quite some time. I wonder if I render this. Oh, I didn't do the pixelated scene for this one, so they're just getting rendered as usual. They're actually supposed to come out like this. Let me show you. They're supposed to be pixelated like this. And these are the steampunk droids that I made a while back. Wish I could see the vertices in this one here. I'm going to delete these, and then I will bridge edge loops. Digging for Grubs says, getting sick of this dude. I buy Liza P collector's edition on eBay, and first guy says sorry, I don't have now. I buy off second guy, and he says he contacted suppliers and they don't have. So now I gotta wait for 2 refunds. Oh, yeah, that's no fun. I kind of don't really shop on eBay because of stuff like that. I mean, it's kind of like hit or miss. Something like you can get good stuff on eBay, but I just feel like there's so many other people who are kind of sketchy and not professional. Let me move this guy to the side so I can see. All these other ones are in front. Like, check for stock and then list it. Don't make me pay and then find out. I guess I should have contacted first, but the page said he had 3 in stock, and the other page said he 1 left. So, yeah. Yeah. Oh, my mic was muted. I don't know how long. Did you hear my answer, Bronson? Sorry about that. I thought you were just locked in. Oh yeah, so what I was saying, okay. So I was saying about your daughter learning to drink with a straw. Like maybe she can just drink like an owl, just like whoop with her beak, boop, boop, boop. You know, tilt your head up. And then for the music, yeah, the music is like, I mean, I can learn how to do it, but then it would take so much time, and I have to like prioritize my goals. I don't want to like, some people like to do everything themselves. Like some people are like, oh, I'm going to make my own game engine. You know, I'm like, I don't have time for that. Yeah, you didn't hear me all that time. It's so quick, you know, you just like tap the mute button and then forget to untap or forget to activate the microphone again. This one's going to be a darker shade, so I'm going to actually open up the node editor. I can totally understand trying to do everything in-house. Oh, this is the wrong portion. Here we go. Oh wait, no, it's this side here. Not pushing it on you, but I know someone who can make music and has many examples. He's even made Western style music, and he's trying to make them for games. Oh, okay. I know it's low priority, so if you aren't interested, that's fine. Well, technically, like I've kind of purchased a few packs of music, and I'm kind of tight on money. So, I mean, I would like to commission if I could, but we'll have to see. But if you can maybe show me some samples, I would like to see that. Then maybe I do have some commissions that are coming up. Maybe I can use that towards a music commission. Yeah, he would make what you want. Sure, I'll ask him for them. No, we all understand being tight on money, so no worries about that. Yeah, thanks. Yep. Unfortunately. I need to have the coat open up, I guess. Let's see. Let me just, what I'd like to do is I like to duplicate these so I have an extra one. Oop. In case I mess up. I'm gonna try cutting through here. We'll see how that goes. Oh, guys, there's an ad starting up pretty soon. Let me just start that, and then I'll see you guys in a bit. My my OBS setup all got switched around. I have too many windows. Where is... oh, here I go. Okay, see you guys. Solely switch. No ads here, baby. Well, in the beginning there are ads, right? And then no ads in the middle of the videos. I noticed that on Rumble, like, there's so many AI ads. It's kind of a little concerning. Okay, I think the ads are over on Twitch. Let me pull this window down. Oh. My OBS looks so cluttered right now. Totally Switch says, the government doesn't want you to know about this high-powered telescope that serves as a water bottle with a drop of Trump's saliva in the hidden pocket knife container. Yeah, like, it's so random. Or it sounds... it's like... this... it sounds like a scam or something. Rumble ad, yeah. I noticed that YouTube has been having a lot more of that too. Like they have all kinds of AI ads. Solely Switch says, yeah, it's actually slightly concerning, yeah. I think, you know, certain platforms kind of have to make the decision of whether or not they want to try to filter out all these, like, what's the word? Like mass-produced ads and similar, like, I don't know what to call them. They're like, I mean, if somebody pays you to run an ad, then it's kind of difficult sometimes to see whether or not it's like a real product or something that they're selling, right? So I guess certain platforms have prioritize more like whether or not they're gonna double check on that or not. I don't know. Okay, so this one, I need to have the coat move like with physics, but I'm not sure how I'm gonna do that. So if I need to separate the coat from the rest of the body, I guess I should. Let's just color this. That way we can see what it looks like. Solely Switch says, I've seen some on cable TV. They're made like TikTok ads, captions and all. Like imagine I were to get a sponsorship to promote something like a product that you make, and I make this sponsor pitch through an AI generator. It just seems greasy. And the funny thing about that too is you'll have ads coming from other countries. Let me just change the music again. It's getting repetitive. So some people, like maybe they want to do an ad in English, but their English is not so good. And so they will use AI or like a robot voice to get rid of their accent. Or they'll write it down probably and then have AI speak it for them. But I noticed that sometimes even with that, their grammar's off. So at the end of one commercial, I heard them say something like, found interested? Like, are you interested in this, right? Found interested? Which is a giveaway. I feel like it was probably an ad from China. Other ads, I noticed there are a few other grammar mistakes too that they make. That's hilarious. Make purchased by. This product is very excited. Okay, I better get rid of these so I don't have to keep moving a bunch of them individually. Oop. No, now imagine one for Rumble. This silver coin limits time. It has time limits. Buy now before money runs out. If I make buttons, I wonder how it's going to look in the pixel render. These characters for the background, right? So the ones I'm modeling, right? So these are going to be the enemies. And so right now, let me just export this one and see how it looks in the pixel render. So I'm gonna copy this, copy. Then I will paste it. Here. Okay, so this is how it's gonna look, just like right in front, like from the front view. I didn't color this portion needs to be colored differently. Actually, I need to split this. I need to open this up so you see the clothing behind it. And then if I were to turn, just to see what it looks like, I can move this arm down. It's a little weird looking, just doing it really quickly. So we'll see what this looks like. For some reason the background's not rendered. Let me show this. Here we go. This is so interesting, man. I can't believe how cool this is. I wish I had the understanding to do this. Technically, I learned how to use Blender in pretty much like a year. So I think if you really wanted to, you could. I started learning Blender September of 2022. Let's see what he looks like when you rotate him this way. I don't know why the plane's not showing. Huh. So Blender is the engine, kind of like Unreal or Unity. So it's a 3D modeling program. So Blender and Unity are used to make games, or you can do like cinematography, I think, too, especially with Unreal Engine. But Blender is for modeling 3D characters. So Unreal Engine and Unity, technically I think in Unreal Engine you might be able to model some things, but it doesn't have the same tools for you to use. And basically, like when you're using a 3D modeling program, you can just go into the vertices like this and just model like that. But there are also modifiers you can use. So in a 3D modeling program, basically you have Blender, Maya, ZBrush, and then there are a few others. Blender is actually free, so if you want to practice, you can just get Blender and then tinker around with it. But say for instance, when I move one side of the character, it moves the other portion as well on the other side. So that is due to what we call a modifier. So the modifier is in this tab on the corner. So basically you can add a bunch of different modifiers to do different functions. Where's the drop down button? Oh, here. And so you can do remesh if your models has too many polygons in it, or do an array. So if you do an array, I'll show you what that looks like. So if I do an array for this this mesh, it'll add another one. Let me see here. Generate array. So now we have 2. Then you can do as many as you want. And then have a relative offset from each other. And then there are other types of modifiers you can do. Let's see here, generate. So subdivision surface would be one thing you could be able to use. These kind of modifiers are why you can't use Unreal, because you need to have something to be able to easily model the character with. Like, so basically, if you make like a square or a cube, let me open this up. Cube, then you subdivide into different pieces, so there's more vertices to work with. What you can do is then use a modifier, which is the subdivision surface, and then that'll give you more to work with, or like it gives you like not really more to work with, but I mean like you have the more jagged mesh here, and then it splits that up. I don't even know what the vocabulary is for that. It'll add more geometry so that when you alter this portion, it has smoother shapes. Or if you want to have something that's flat, if I get rid of this, I can take this out. This is a flat section of that square. I can model it to pull pieces out. Say, for instance, extrude, extrude. And then if I want to make it more three-dimensional, then I will do the solidify modifier and then pull the thickness out. So now we have more three-dimensional shape. But if I want it to not be so square, then I can do the subdivision surface, and then it turns into that. But you can still, with the subdivision surface, you can still model based on your original shape. And this is what they call non-destructive editing. So I can move this around, and then if I don't like it, I can always just get rid of the modifiers, and then it's back to this shape. So those are the features that you can use in Blender that you can't use in Unreal. That's why people will model in Blender and then they'll export to Unreal or Unity. Bronson says, man, this is so interesting. And, you know, before I started to model in Blender, I kind of thought it was a little too complicated for me, so I figured, yeah, I would probably never be able to 3D model. Sully Switch says, okay, very cool. So you're self-taught? Yeah, basically, most of the things, a lot of the things I know are from YouTube. I need to just try one day, just to try to figure it out. Yeah, go for it. Problem is, I'm just not very artsy. Well, good for you. People who aren't very artsy tend to go into 3D modeling, because what happens is when you're drawing, you have to figure out everything kind of like by yourself. Like, you have to figure out how to do perspective, how to do lighting, and then in your head you kind of map it out and then you draw it. But when you're 3D modeling, you don't have to do that. Like the computer takes care of the lighting, the symmetry, and the perspective all for you. So it starts to turn more into design, which I think would be a lot more manageable if you're... Oh, I didn't mean to save that. Oh. Okay, that's okay. I'll just pull from my backup file. That was not supposed to be saved. Sometimes I just automatically press Control S and then save it. Okay, so we will go back to the other section. Well, before that, let me render a few of these again. I wanted to see what this looks like. So if he were to move his arms, say for instance, his hat's flying off. You know what? Let's just save that. Like that. That's funny. So Solly Switch says, I guess I would start with things I'm familiar with, like karateka or something like that. Karateka? I'm not sure what that one is, karateka. Or you mean like karate? Karate? Like a person who does karate? Karateka, okay. Just a dude that studies karate. Yeah, I can kind of, if it's Japanese, I can see where that word comes from, but I've never heard that word for some reason. like design someone in a karate gi. Oh, okay, I see. Oh, I see. Yeah, and in Blender, there's so many different things you can do. Like you can see, for instance, the tabs up on the top. I can't really zoom up to it, but basically there's layout, modeling, sculpting, UV editing, texture paint, shading, animation, rendering, compositing, geometry node, scripting. So people kind of get overwhelmed when they're learning Blender. Like there's too much to learn and they get intimidated. But you can just like stick with one particular skill set. Some people just do 3D modeling for character design. There's this whole like sculpting section in Blender where there are all these tools on the side here, so you can inflate or smooth and then stretch. But a lot of times I just work in this mode right here. What else can we add here? For what I understand, I do not know as much Japanese as you do, but if you take the system and add ka at the end, it references the person training. Like judo would be judoka. Yeah. So the ka is like referring to the person. It's like er in English, like a practitioner, teacher. But I think it doesn't really apply to all words, so you can't really say it for every single thing. The funny thing is that in the Chinese character that it's used for, it means family. Don't ask me why. Well, I guess it could be like in the order of, right? Like a category of. That makes sense. So for the physics, I'll just leave that for off stream because it's a little too complicated. I'm gonna not be able to talk while I do that. But I want to make another character. That's cool. He has like a sash or something. That's so funny. This is a funny pose. Hey Nania, how are you? Hope you're doing well today. How do you start creating a character from scratch? So you mean like you want to learn how to 3D model, or you mean like making a character like this? Mr. Shouted, hey, hello, how are you? Hope you're doing well today. Thanks for popping in. Today we're doing 3D modeling for characters from my indie game. So these are going to be enemies in the game. Nania says, yep, like that. It looks cool. Yeah, so when you start off, basically you can do in Blender, you can start off with a cube. So let me I have so many like windows and like tabs open. It's kind of difficult to navigate through everything at the moment. But let me try to get something up. Okay, so if you were to get a cube, hopefully you can see this okay. Let me pull this open. I will get a cube. And then you have to subdivide the surface. So let's see here. Basically in Blender you can assign shortcut keys. So I already have subdivide here already. Subdivide again. Then in Blender we have these things we call modifiers. So I will do a subdivision surface to make the cube smooth. And it has this smooth shape to it, but really when you edit it, it's still editing it from the very rigid mesh that you had created earlier. So let me switch some music. Looks so cool. Sorry to interrupt your workflow. No problem. Yeah, that's part of the point of this stream. I want to be able to help other people learn how to do 3D modeling as well. But so here you can pull up these edges. Oh wait, maybe I'll just try the center here. And so this is the actual shape that you're pulling up. However, since it has the modifier on it, it becomes smooth like this. And you can adjust the levels of how smooth it is. And from this you can block out the character from more simple shapes. If I extrude, we can just make like a simple extrude and resize. You can make more complicated shapes like this. And then if you wanted to make arms, you could you could extrude from the side like so. You could also have a separate piece of something, and then you connect it to this other one. If I do bridge edge loops, delete this one, delete vertices, delete faces, sorry. Delete faces. So we have two sections that are cut out. Then I can connect them by bridging edge loops. And because we have that subdivision surface, it gives a smooth transition from one to the other. And so that's basically how you would create a character like this. Yeah, and you can look up videos on it on YouTube too. I don't know what kind of thing you would like to make, like VTube avatars or video game characters. Sometimes they have a different workflow because, you know, it's being used for a different thing. and so it needs a different type of functionality. So, but if you just, doing something for animation, and it's not for like a job or something, then you can just, go and try Blender, get your hands dirty, and then just don't like put too much pressure on yourself. If you just spend enough time doing it, you can learn how to make a character. Nania says, "Oh, I see. Thank you. I'm a beginner at game dev, and I usually take models/assets externally, so this was very helpful." Yeah, no problem. Glad you learned something from that. I had like a little app that shows the keystrokes that I use, but for some reason it just stopped working. So maybe next stream I can try to fix that. So let's delete that. Yeah, so what I do is basically you have like a base character, and then you can duplicate, Shift D, duplicate the character, and then edit the new duplicated model. So you would make a base model and then make a new one, and then the workflow goes a lot faster that way. So if you want to have like a female character, you make a base female character model, then you can duplicate that, make a bunch of other female characters, and then you make another one, which is like from scratch, which would be for a male character. Then you duplicate that, and then like this one here, all these are male characters, and then I've duplicated them to make different ones. Say for instance, I'm not finished with these yet, but these are supposed to be like Native American characters. And then we have the miners in my game. I don't know if in the preview, if you can see the enemies. Let me show you. So this is the game I'm working on, Duel Trigger. It's a steampunk Wild West run and gun, where you play as the most skilled and most wanted steampunk cowboy in all of the West Coast. Here, you can see the enemies here. So these are actually modeled from like, these characters here. Actually, these two, I think these, this one. Let me turn this off. This one, and also this guy right here. And then today I was working on this character, which is going to be for my ranch level. While you're working, it's important to have reference photos as well. So I have these guys right here. Maybe I can try doing something like this, huh? Somebody with a vest. And if you have any questions too, you can feel free to ask them here, or also in my Discord. I do have a Discord community. Feel free to go into my About section, and then if you're interested, you can join. I do have a website as well, owlonthebrush.com. I sell merchandise on my website. I also stream on YouTube, and I have an Instagram as well. Let me make one of these guys. Let's see if this is similar. Did I already make somebody with a vest? This one might work, but I don't know if it's too messy. I'll just start a new one with this guy. This guy? Wait a minute. I'm just gonna delete these. Oh, I see we have a new member. Thanks for joining the Discord. So I will make a section for the belt, and we can have some bullets on there. Oh, let me change this. So for the resizing of this portion, there's a mirror modifier. So for some reason when I resize, it doesn't resize the proper way. So that can be an issue. So I think I will just resize using the proportional editing tool. I'll just pick a point and then move it like this. So basically proportional editing allows you to move other parts of the mesh that are nearby the point you selected, and that way I can reshape it like this. Let's see here. Oh, Mystery Shrouded says, by the way, Owl, after I went to one of the craft shows, I looked at your website and I noticed that the Bathhouse Owl sticker sheet isn't on the website. Oh yeah, sorry about that. I kind of want to buy a second one. Okay. Well, I'll be uploading that soon. It's just that I kind of have like a bunch of different like things I'm making at the same time. And in order to upload it, I want to have like a picture ready for it. So sometimes it can be a little challenging for me to get those like properly edited pictures up in time. But I will definitely be uploading it on my website pretty soon. I'm glad you like the stickers though. I might actually be making some keychains out of those. Lol, fair. Take your time. Okay, yeah, thanks. But yeah, I really should have it up. It just can be a little hard to manage everything. I'm gonna just, okay, so there are too many vertices, so I just delete this and then I will connect it like so. Oops. I need to select all of them at the same time. Basically, when you're bridging edge loops, you have to make sure that the edges are the same number on both sides. You have to make sure the edges match up. Otherwise, when you connect it, it's gonna have the triangular look to it because it's trying to adjust the number of vertices from one side to the other. So you have to select it so you have the same number on both sides and then bridge edge loops, and then that's how you have a perfectly uniform edge loop. So for the vest, I'm gonna extrude this section. Extrude. Here we have extrude faces along normals, like so. And then I will delete this section. Delete faces, and then when I merge them together, let's see if this works. I'll do a bridge edge loop. Bridge edge loops, but I'll do merge. So it's like that. Hey, Manifest is on the Discord. Howdy. Howdy, how are you? I don't know if you're watching right now. Oh, let me switch the music. You know, these tracks I have are just like a minute and a half long. Let me see if I can find another theme. Let's try this one, 80s music. I hope, I didn't check actually YouTube to see if it's streaming. Hopefully it is, because that's where I record my videos. This vest looks kind of funny in the back. You're not really gonna see it anyway, like, because these are gonna be pixelated, so sometimes the proportions don't really matter a whole lot, I guess. Let's make this smaller. I like this. What you can do here is, if you need another shape, you can duplicate one of the faces from the model that you have already. Shift D to duplicate. And then you can separate that with P. Then selection, separate what you have selected. And then from there you can extrude into another shape. This will be for like a buckle or something. To cut out a piece like for the middle portion of the vest, you can do the knife tool, which is K, and then just cut through like that. So then I'll just recolor this. Say, let's see here. Materials. I accidentally opened up a tab here. Oh, there's going to be a ad coming up soon, so I'm going to see you guys later. It's going to be like 30 seconds. Let me start the ad right now, actually. Run ad. Okay, see you guys soon. That's actually for the Twitch audience. So I'm gonna recolor this. Let's put a little scarf in there. When I first started doing these characters, I was still learning a lot about Blender, so some of the topology is not very convenient here. Just select it like this. Let me change the music again. Oop. Wait. Is this the same one? You still need to be able to see the collar. Oh, I forgot my sign. Hey, Siege Outdoors W Stream. Hey, thanks, thanks so much, and thanks for stopping by. This is actually my first time streaming on Rumble. Just figured I'd give it a try. I'm always looking for other platforms. Oops. Let's put some bullets here. So I'm gonna add a let's see, cylinder. There's another more like fancy way or more accurate way to do this, but you're not really going to see much detail in the pixelated characters, so I'm just gonna manually duplicate everything. We'll just merge all these together. And then copy modifier to mirror. Oh, where did it go? Oh, the central point, the origin needs to be here. Selection, cursor, wait. Cursor to selected, and then we will do origin to cursor. There we go. I don't even know if these are going to show up on the character. Let's put a light over here so we can see better how the colors are. Oh, Acid Rain subscribed with Prime. Thanks so much. That's my first, you're my first subscriber. I really appreciate it. You're gonna, oops, what happened? You're gonna make me cry. No way, really? Yeah. Yep. Thanks so much. I had this thing, I was thinking maybe I could do like a little project for subscribers. You know the owl that the owl mascot that I have? I actually rigged it so that I can use it, I can hopefully use the rig for different models. So I might be able to make another owl and then have animations go with that as well. Acid Rain says, I just spent forever trying to figure out how the message the messages are scrolling up. How to use Prime and subscribe on my iPhone. Lol. Yeah, well, thank you. Bronson says, dude, you're gonna have like all of the coolest emotes ever. Yay! When I mouse over the comments, all these little widgets keep popping up. Wait a minute. Oops, I accidentally pinned something. First sub ever, that's crazy. Let's go! So we made these two characters today. They look kind of rudimentary, but they're meant to be they're meant to be pretty simple. Leave that pinned. Yeah, I accidentally pressed the button. Okay, so let's see, what are we doing now? So, maybe I'll take a break from the character creation. What I was going to do is I was going to make a wagon, because this wagon here, one of the characters is going to be the person you go to buy your weapons. So he's like going to have a traveling arsenal, and it's going to be inside one of these. I think maybe I could try blocking it out right now, or maybe I should do a sketch and then come back to it later. Oh, you know what? Let me I was actually gonna leave soon, but since he gave me the Prime sub, it just reminded me that I need to learn how to do a shout out. So let me figure that out right now. Is that sorry, my setup's so cluttered, and when I click on things they like change position, so I don't know where anything is now. The shout out should be with the raid settings, right? Or maybe I could just do a command. I literally have no idea where the shout out button is. One moment. Sorry guys, bear with me. So, while I look for this, oh here, so it's slash shout out. Let's see if this works here. Here we go. So Solely Switch, Acid Rain, and Bronson are actually the ones who have a channel called Solely Switch. They do. I always show up in their Friday streams, but I think you have another day that you normally stream, right? They do casual gameplay, and they play indie games. So if anybody's interested in that, feel free to give them a follow. Hi, thank you for the shout out. Yeah, no problem. Mondays. Oh yeah, Mondays and Fridays. Okay, so I just learned how to do shout out. New skill acquired on Twitch. Let me see if I have comments on Rumble. Oh, Solely Switch just gifted 1 subscription to Owl in the Brush. Thanks so much on Rumble. Unfortunately, though, I do have to go now. So let's not beat around the brush. Thank you everybody for stopping by. This is for this stream today was for 3D modeling for my game Duel Trigger. It's a steampunk run and gun game where you play as the most wanted and most skilled steampunk cowboy in all of the West Coast. And here you can see a preview of my game right here. If you're interested, you can go and join my Discord. It's in the About section as well. And I do have a website. You can see my merchandise there. I do have a comic book that I'm working on. I have 3 chapters out on my website. Feel free to check that out. I am on Instagram as well. And so just as of today, I'm streaming on an extra platform, Rumble. So thank you all for hanging out, and I'll see you next time. I don't know if there's like a little bit of a delay in my stream. I'll just wait a little bit. Beat around the brush, yep. Let me check the... Slowly Switch on Rumble says, awesome stream, man. I really enjoyed it. Yeah, thanks for hanging out. Windstream, my friend. Have a great night. We love you, Al in the Brush. Thank you. Okay, bye everybody.